Hello everyone and welcome back to a new session. This session I would like to go over a lab for chapter 14, specifically inheritance. So this is what we are going to do today. Let me make sure that my screen is being shared because I don't see it. Okay, it is being shared. Strange. Stop share. 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 It's not showing me that it's sharing. Okay. I'm hoping it's sharing. So for the lab, this is the lab that we are going to do today. So starting with assuming this parent class employee, protected section, public section. So this is the abstract for it. We still need to implement the functionality for this parent. And then employees have a first name, last name, title, and a salary. We see them here. But there are three types of employees, each with some distinct attributes. There is a manager, has these attributes or member variables. There are engineers that have these. There are researchers that have these. And our lab today is to provide the implementation for all three classes inheriting from the employee class, and demonstrate their usage in an example inside the main function. So we need to implement the parent, and then we inherit as a manager, we inherit as an engineer, and we inherit as a researcher. Set data will ask the user for the data, and save to file will save these data to the file. Of course, a manager will have specific data special to a manager. Then a manager will override set data and will override save to file in order to add those piece of data. Same for engineer, same for researchers. With that being said, let's go ahead, copy, and come here. I'm gonna put everything in one file for this lab. So this is the class employee. It has these, and it has this public section along with constructors. This is one that is empty, and this is one that takes string a first name, string a last name, int a salary, and string a title. So first things first, let me implement these. I'm not gonna implement them inline. I'm gonna implement them outside the class. So I'm gonna say there is a class called employee, and it has a constructor called employee. This constructor will set first name to be empty, will set last name to be empty, will set salary to be 0, will set title to be empty. Then I'm gonna tell it there is a class called employee that has a constructor that takes these 4 inputs, and then it sets first name to be the A first name, the member last name to be the argument last name, the member salary to be the argument salary, and the member title to be the argument title. These are done, so I'm gonna collapse them. Now I go for the set data. So I'm gonna say there is an employee class that has set data function. This set data will ask the user to enter the employee's first name, cn into, well, get line. No, first name is one word, so cn into first name. Then I'm gonna do the same. So this is a void function. I'm gonna do the same, copy, paste, paste, paste. So first name, and then last name, and then salary, and then title. So I'm gonna say second or last name, employees salary, and then employees title. Save, save. And now for the save file, it receives an outstream. So whoever calls this method will send me the file stream. So this is done. I'm gonna say void employee save to file. It takes an off stream as a reference. And then I'm gonna use that off stream to display first name, first name, and L, and then second name, salary, salary, and then title, last name, salary, title. And this way, or by now, I'm done implementing the employee class. So I have an employee class. It has 4 variables, 4 attributes, and I was able to set them from the user and save them to the file as at least the implementation of them. I didn't exercise this code yet. So this is the employee class done. Now, starting with the manager. The project says, starting with the manager has everything in an employee. A manager is an employee. It has everything in a manager in addition to number of meetings per week, so that's an integer, number of vacation days per year, so that's an integer. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say class manager inherits from. Why my IntelliSense is not opening? Strange. Public employee. Something is weird in my Visual Studio. It's not suggesting. Let me restart it. Okay, so class manager, we mentioned that it has, let's do it as protected so that in future, if someone inherits from it, then they have it. So protected, we said we need an integer for num meetings, and we need an integer for num vacation. Days. Then we need the public. In the public section, we need eventually a constructor. We need a constructor that takes 2 integers. And what else? That's it. So it doesn't have any extra functionality, but we need to redefine set data and save to file. So I'm gonna say set data and save to file. Those are void. So let's go ahead and implement those. So there is a class called manager, and this one sets what? First, it calls the base class because I need every time someone creates an instance of a manager, I need to set the data for its parent. Now, the fact that this is a default constructor, no big deal, but I still have to do it. So I'm gonna go ahead and say employee class. That means it will call employee default constructor. So it's a good habit. The fact that it's a default constructor, no big, I don't have to do it because the compiler will do it anyway. Even if I don't have a default constructor, the compiler will create a default constructor for me. But it's a good habit to just follow the standard. Um, so what do we do in our default constructor for a manager? I say num meetings equals 0, num num vac equals 0. As a matter of fact, it better be put as -1. -1 is an indication that this is invalid object, kinda. Because zero might be valid. There might be a manager that has 0 meetings. So 0 is not a good indication for being a defaulted instance or invalid instance or an empty instance. So -1 is better, similar to employee. Maybe -1 is a little better from a 0 if in case we have an employee with 0 salary. Maybe a waiter, for example, they have like 0 salary. Maybe I don't know if it's allowed to be 0, but they live off of tips, for example. So this is the default. Now I'm gonna do the overloaded. So manager overloaded that takes a num meetings int a num vac days. Then I'm gonna say first things first, call the base, so employee. And employee takes what? Takes 4. Well, the manager will receive more than 2, so let's receive more than 2. String a f name, string a l name, int a sal or salary, string a title, and then a num meetings and a num vac. Then I'm gonna call this bad boy, and I'm gonna pass it. I'm gonna pass it the first 4. So I'm gonna pass it a first name, a first mf name, a l name, a sal, and a title. So this one should receive string, int, string. So whoever creates a manager class should give me their first name, last name, salary, title, in addition to a num of meetings and num of vacation days. Now, in my implementation, I receive these 6. I pass the first 4 to the parent, and then I use the last 2. So I say num of meetings equal a num of meetings, and then num vacation days equals a num vacation days. And then I need to implement set data and save data. So this is done. I can go now here and say manager, set data. Set data, what does it do? Similar to the parent, it should read from the file, from the user. Now, set data, we have a set data in our parent. I'm redefining it. What I can do is I can call the one already in the parent, and then it will populate the data for the parent, and then do my extra special read from the user. So basically what I can do is I can say employee set data, and this will execute set data in the parent, and this is a void. So this will populate parent data, and then populate this data. So now I can say cout, enter number of meetings, cin into m num meetings, and then cout, enter number of vacation days, cin into m num vacation days. This is for the set data. Now for the save file, we should receive a stream. Here it is. So this is done. I'm gonna say it's a void manager save file, and it receives this guy. I can do the same thing I did in set data. I can say save parent data by calling the parent and asking it to execute its own save from file, and here is the offstream. Then save this data. So out number of meetings is num meetings and L. Then out number of vacation days num vacation days and L. So this is for the manager. Done. Next one, let me grab the file again. Next one is engineer. It has a Boolean specifying whether they know C++ or not. It has, so that's a Boolean. It has a number of years of experience, so that's an int. If we want to be very specific, we can be float, but it's an int, usually like 7 years of experience and 8 years of experience, or let me say 7.5 years of experience and 8 years of experience are very similar. You know, it's very similar. If you have one developer with 7.5 years of experience and another developer with 8 years of experience, they are kind of similar experience. So we're gonna go with integers. Let me grab this back. So to save time, I can copy these and rename them, which is a good hack. So collapse. I can say in this section, Control F. Control F will open the find for me. I can click this one, this arrow, and now it's a replace. So I can tell it find manager and replace it with engineer. Only in this selection. So here, it's only in this selection, whatever I selected. I can say entire document, all open documents, entire project, entire solution. In this section, in this example, or in this case, I only want to change or replace manager with engineer only in the piece that I selected. There are other stuff like match case, capital letter or not. This for replace one at a time. This for replace all. I'm gonna replace all at a time at once. So 6 occurrence replaced. Always show this message so I can confirm. So now it replaced them, and I need to provide the class. So engineer that comes from an employee. It has a bool. A bool for what? Bool does or knows CPP, and an integer for uh, num x years, experience years. This engineer has a constructor, and it takes the first four similar to earlier, because these four are for the parent. We are inheriting from employee, and then the specifics for an engineer. It also has a set data and save to file. So now we have, where are they? Here they are. Let me go here. So now we have a bool for A knows CPP and int num of experience, right? So here I'm gonna come one at a time, one function at a time, and fix it. So knows CPP, I'm gonna say false, default, years of experience, -1. Then to the overloaded constructor, I'm gonna say knows experience or knows CPP is for this, and then num of experience is equal to the argument num of experience. So everything stays the same. This constructor receives 4 for the parent and 2 for itself. The 4 are passed to the parents, and the 2 for itself are being set. Now for the set data needs to change. The parent stuff stays as is. I call the parent and I tell it, hey, set your own data. And here I'm gonna say, does he know C++? And then cn into, so bool l user input. Does he know C++ y versus n, right? And then cn, into l user input. Now knows CPP equals L user input equals Y. If true, then true. If false, then false. So if the user enters Y, this becomes, if user enters Y, this becomes true. So this gets executed. That means this gets set in knows CPP. Otherwise, it gets F. Why this is saying oh, this is equal. So if this is equal Y, then true gets set to knows, else it's this. Next, enter number of experience, of years of experience, years. And then experience, or what was it? What? This num years experience. Then we go to save file, same. Let the parent save its own. And then here I'm gonna say knows C++, and then I'm gonna say knows C++. If it's true, then yes. Otherwise, it's no. Right? If this is true, or like this, basically they are the same. So if this is true, yes, no. It's not gonna like it in this format, so I'm gonna wrap it in parentheses, and now it will like it. And here number of what? Experience. Number of experience years. Num experience years. So done with engineer. The next is researcher. String specifying the school they got their PhD from, so it's a string. String specifying the topic of their PhD thesis, so it's a string. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna copy, collapse this because it's done, collapse this so it's done. These are the manager stuff. These are the parent or the employee stuff. And these are the engineer stuff. And now for the researcher. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna select and I'm gonna say replace engineer with researcher. Replace all, 9, done. So researcher. Researcher has a string for school, school name. It has a string of thesis topic. So same, but it receives two strings for itself. These are the same, so done. Researcher, I'm gonna say school name is empty, and then um, thesis topic equals empty. Oops. This is done. And then for this guy, let's move this, and this is string. Where did we put it? Here. So string. This string is for a school name, and this string is for a thesis topic. Move it. Keep everything the same. I want to call the parent, and then I'm gonna say school name equals a school name. Thesis topic equal a thesis topic. Done. Now for the set data, same. And here populate. So populate. See out. What is the school name? Here I'm gonna do a CN now. Get line, sorry. Get line from the CN to school name. Then see out. What is the thesis topic? CN or get line. CN into thesis topic. Yeah. Next is this, and then school name, school name, thesis topic, thesis topic. So done. So now I have 3 classes that inherit from an employee. So we have an employee with general attributes. All employees in the universe have a first name, last name, salary, and a title. Specific employees or special employees have everything in an employee plus stuff that we see here. With that being said and done, let's exercise it. So I'm gonna say cout employee demo demonstration and L. So employee demonstration, I'm gonna say create an employee L employee. Now L employee dot set data, meaning I'm gonna read from the user info into this employee. And then I'm gonna say L employee dot save to file. Now this save to file takes a stream. So I'm gonna say L out file. So I have an L out file of stream L out file, and this L out file will open, I'm gonna say employees.txt. I don't need to check if it was open successfully because it's an out file. It's for sure going to be there. It's a good thing to check because sometimes you don't have access to those files like permission-wise. But since the program is there, I believe I'm 99% sure that you have access to. Okay, sorry, I stopped the recording by mistake. So I'm gonna open this file. What I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. So this will read from the user and this will save them to the file. Since I'm using the same out file, you're gonna notice I'm creating only one file and then passing it to each object. The fact that each object receives it as a reference, meaning it will keep appending to the file. It's not a new file, it's the same file and the pointer knows where, at which line it is right now. So let's, in the parent, I need to add just a few end lines. This way we can see the different sections in the file. I don't want everything to be like line by line. So this will give us some space. And here it is the manager demonstration. And notice I'm going to create a manager and then the manager L manager. The manager will set date. So this is for this, this is for this. As simple as that. I'm gonna do one for what was the second one? Manager, and then engineer, and then researcher. So here I'm gonna replace manager with engineer. Done. And then here I'm gonna replace manager with researcher. Done. This is it. So this will give you an idea how inheritance or why we use inheritance, because in a manager, I didn't need to rewrite employee stuff. I just inherit from employee. And then the manager instance will handle both data that was inherited and created for itself. This will demonstrate an employee class. This is demonstrating a manager class. This will demonstrate an engineer class. This will demonstrate a researcher class. And out file will be passed around these objects. And once it's done, we're going to close that file. After we close that file, we're going to go and open it and see what's in it. So let's start it. Okay, employee demonstration. Enter the employee's first name. I'm gonna start with K1 to show that this is the first, or I'm gonna say employee. Employee first. Employee second. Salary, I'm gonna say 10 because it's the first object, or 1 because it's the first object. Title, employee title, for example. Now the manager demonstration. Same. Enter the employee's first name. So the manager, I'm gonna say manager first. Manager last. And then salary is 2 to indicate that this is the second instance I'm demonstrating. Title, I'm gonna say manager title. Now notice we have an additional question or 2 additional questions. Enter number of meetings. I'm gonna say 22 to demonstrate that this is the second instance. Enter the number of vacation days. I'm gonna say 222. Done. So now engineer demonstration. So I'm gonna say engineer first, engineer last. Salary, I'm gonna say 3. Engineer title. I'm gonna say knows. Does he know? Yes. What happened? It didn't like it. It didn't like it for a reason. Let's see why it didn't like it. So, since I have them in functions, I know exactly where to go. I need the engineer set data. Something is wrong in this function. When I entered user input, oh, bool, this has to be character or at least string. So now I check it to be y. If this string is y, then so we have to restart. Notice, notice in here we're gonna have some output or not output employees. Here they are. Employee first, second, employee title, employee manager first, 222, and we were about to continue, but it crashed. So I'm gonna remove this and start over. So again, employee first, employee second, salary 1, employee title, manager demonstration, manager first, manager. Actually, I can second or last, 2, manager title, manager title, 22, 222. So now engineer, I'm gonna say EF, engineer first, EL, salary 3, title ET, yes. So now it worked. Enter number of years. I'm gonna say 3. So now for the researcher, enter employee. So RL, salary 4, RT. What school? Oh, it didn't read for the first school. I'm gonna look at it later. What is the thesis topic? I'm gonna say AI. So done. Let's see what's up with researcher set data. See into school name, it didn't stop. Why? What's the school name? Why this didn't stop and wait for read? Maybe we have to see and ignore. Maybe there was something in the buffer. Let's ignore like 10 characters and then read into. So something was in the buffer and was set in school name. So now I'm gonna go back. Here it is, employee. I can see this is for the employee. This is for the manager. This is for the engineer. This is for, oh, you see, something was in the buffer, so it's empty. So I'm school name, read empty. Thesis topic needs needs this and the space. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Um, Inheritance practice. So please go ahead, practice this. Just follow me, type what I typed and run your code. This will help you for sure in the assignment, definitely in the project and the quizzes. Let me know if you have any questions.